So that was a little bit of the fall colors here in Northern Illinois. Good to see you guys again. We took a few days off. Susie-q had a great video that just released. Check that out. Check out all of our videos. We got a good combination at this channel. It's all about knowledge here. We tell you about what's happening in the news so you know about it. We tell you where the good restaurants are at so you know about it. We also share with you guys cool cars. So that season's over, but I'll be putting some videos out there on cars in the near future. So today I got a lot of things to talk about. Let's go back to, remember the Bud Light fiasco? Oh man, it's coming back. Dana White of the UFC has signed an agreement, a contract, what have you, with Bud Light. So Bud Light is counting on UFC, Ultimate Fighting Competition, I guess. I don't know, for people not familiar. Located in Las Vegas. They have a lot of matches in Las Vegas. It's basically boxing without the gloves, okay? They just have, it's fisticuffs, basically. So people love it. It's a worldwide audience that watches that. So they've, I guess, signed a contract for it. There was no monetary amount specified, but I saw Dana do an interview, and he said, you know, it isn't about money, but they did get a good, decent amount of money for this. And I think I read, too, they're going to be doing some content, and obviously there's partnerships. They'll be putting their logo all over the octagon and everywhere else, and you name it, you know, they'll be sponsoring weigh-ins, who knows. So there you go. Bud Light is trying to make a comeback, as feeble as it is at this point. I did some checking yesterday. They said, you know, sales this year are down like, or 26% the last month or something. So they continue to stay down. The market cap on INBEV has gone down 27 billion. That's what B. And, you know, they've been forced to lay people off. They've been forced to sell brands. You know, I haven't really been checking closely, but I don't see, or let me say this, I rarely see a Bud Light or Budweiser tapper at any of the places I go to. You know, all the places we go to shy away from it and have actually removed their tappers after they couldn't sell their product for a couple of weeks. They decide, hey, let's put something on tap that actually sells. Now, I think you can get it in bottles and cans and what have you, but that's about it. So, yeah, Bud's going to make we never did find out what happened to that lady, I don't know what her name was, Heinerschein, who called it a aging frat brand. So you've just been Bud Lighted, I think is what they're calling it now. So I wish I had a can here to, you know, dump on the ground or something, but I'm not even going to waste my money on that at this point. So, you know, if you watch this channel, we drink a lot of, I love Miller, I love Liney's, and Susie-q likes Spotted Cow. So we just had some good Wisconsin beers last weekend as we made a trip to Wisconsin. Okay, so that's Bud Light and UFC. Let's talk about the auto industry. I lost track now. What was it, September 15th? We're like 5 weeks in now, it looks like. It's just getting worse. It's getting worse. Sean Fain of the UAW is going after the big three with his claws out. Oh, it's starting to rain. I might have to take cover here, folks. We may have to move to the inside studio. It's a rainy day here today, and I don't want to get my camera wet, so let me move inside. So where did we leave off? UAW, that's where we were. Let me have some little coffee here. Got my Vegas mug. As I stated before, it's raining out now. So we're inside at the inside studio. Oh, so yeah, the UAW continues to pummel the big three. Even Bill Ford, the chairman of Ford and member of the long illustrious Ford family, came out a couple of weeks ago and said, if this thing doesn't get resolved much sooner, and about where they were at that time, he says the status of the Ford company could be in jeopardy. He was alluding that they would have to go bankrupt, and I saw some articles, rumors that they may have to merge with GM after this, and they're the union. Kudos to the unions for getting a little more money, but I guess they got to be a little realistic because I think they're heading down that path where when this is all over, no matter what they get, you're going to see a lot of their jobs either go ununionized or you'll hear that sucking sound, right? Remember NAFTA during the Bill Clinton days, the old NAFTA, where jobs just left the United States and moved to Mexico. I don't know if you guys realize, but I think they make a lot of their engines, the normal engines, not the big high performance ones, but the normal ones that they use out of Mexico already. So they do a lot of manufacturing. Ford does in Mexico, and during the 2016 era, they were looking to expand then, and our president at the time kind of forced them to reconsider and move more of those jobs to the United States. So I think you're going to see that. You're going to see the big three rethink things. You may see cars. People won't buy cars anymore, right? Maybe they'll just rent them by the month or like a short-term lease. This may impact the world and change the world of automotive drastically, folks. So they keep closing down factories. The one here in Chicago where they make the Explorers and all the police vehicles, and the Lincoln Navigator has been closed now for 2-3 weeks. And it's not good for the auto workers. I saw a video of a lady who's, she says that she gets her $500 a week in the strike fund, and it doesn't go very far when it comes to paying her bills and stuff. And she had a couple of kids, and of course, I just did a video on how people, 60 or 70% of the people don't have $400 saved up. How many of those auto workers do you think were living paycheck to paycheck? I'm thinking probably quite a few. So, going down to $2,000 a month take home is going to be a shock for their system. And I mean, that's like living on Social Security. So I'm sure they weren't ready for that. And now they're in the midst of it. So, the UAW strike continues, and we'll see where it all goes. But I'm not thinking it's going to end very well. As a result, you see car prices are still going to remain high. I also saw a report too where it said for every auto worker that goes out, you're going to start seeing 10 jobs for every auto worker on strike become impacted, because all the downstream manufacturing and suppliers, people that make the nuts and bolts and provide the headrests and this and that and the little knobs. For every one UAW workers, there's 10 other jobs that help that job. So it's gonna, and I think there's like 150,000 UAW workers. So we're talking potentially 1 million workers that are gonna hit bad times, and maybe be put out of work entirely. Some of these suppliers may, if they're super small suppliers, this may break their back. And run them out of business for good. I saw a report yesterday where Ford is being impacted by $200 million a day. Of course, all the big three have started changing their plans. They were going to roll out new cars next year and do this and that with EVs. So a lot of that stuff's getting pushed down the road as a result of this. And I think I saw the impact so far is like $9.7 billion to our national economy here. So there you go. The UAW, just watch what's going on, and we'll see how it all ends. Quick update on the Chicago Migrant Crisis. The people in Brighton Park are pushing back big time on the installation of a tent. They're getting ready. I think they're going to go through with it because it's on private land. It's owned by some CSX, a train company. They're going to put in a tent, and it's going to hold like 2,000 people. So supposedly, they like to sugarcoat it. They say it's just for young families or families. It's not going to be for the single men. Nobody wants the single men in their neighborhood because of all the crime and everything else that goes on. I saw, check out Peter Santello. He just did a series of Chicago videos, and as one of those videos, he did a ride-along with a ex-Chicago cop, a retired Chicago cop who retired recently. And they showed some shocking stuff going on in the city of Chicago as a result of the migrant crisis. He showed in the Gold Coast area, the nice area of Chicago, close to Michigan Avenue. There's some prostitution going on down there related to our migrants. So I actually saw a report here. Cook County Sheriff busted 10 people in unincorporated Palatine for running a brothel. So human trafficking and slavery and a few other charges. So it's happening. I'm starting to see some out here. I was out driving around yesterday, and I saw further down towards Elgin, where we have I guess some of these migrants. There was a couple of people standing in the roadway panhandling, which you normally don't see, maybe once in a while, but I got a feeling we're going to see more and more of that happening in the near future. So, we'll see what happens when the snow comes. They said usually by October 31st, we get a trace of snow. By the middle of November, sometimes we get measurable snow. And by December 8th, we get usually inch of snow. So, snow's coming, folks. It's getting close to snow weather, and the way that these people are living, in the police stations during the day, and they get pushed outside, or police stations at night, pushed out during the day. Not going to work any longer. So we'll see what Chicago does. They still got, I don't know, every police station has like 100 to 200 people. There was 800 at O'Hare Airport in one of the terminals where you pick up your baggage. The they're all over. They're all over, and it's costing Chicago mega bucks. And maybe we'll do a video about that, on how Chicago doesn't have much money to play with here. I know they sent a contingent of aldermen down to the border, and we're trying to tell people, no mas, no mas, we don't want any more. But they also learned that how El Paso and Brownsville and these other places that are running shelters have made it this far, is they declared themselves as a federal disaster area so they can get FEMA funds. So look for Chicago probably to take that approach too, so they can get some money, because they're spending a lot of money, and they plan to spend a lot of money on the migrants, and that just further pisses off the homeless people and the people in the lower bottom class of our society that need those resources, and those resources are going to get sucked up by people that are not even citizens or taxpayers. So there you go. So that's what I know today. Glad to be back on the tube, and I hope you guys are doing well. Take time to like, share, and comment below. We love to hear from you guys, and hope you're doing well. And DJ Wonder Chrissy over and out.